Time to get the show on the road. How's everybody doing today? Hope y'all can hear me well. Let's see. Crazy asked where to sell the gold on the PV rivers, and I opened it up in the editor real quick. So I could show him the gold trigger is if you're heading toward the water. It's this yellow bank right here, key bank, in the box that's right there by the bank. That is where you will be selling your gold. Hope that helps you out. It's right down before you get to the lighthouse, right next to the Piggly Wiggly, the big yellow building. So, got that out of the way. I hope that helps you out. Everybody hear me okay? We are going to, let's see, last week we left off with adding crops to the map, and today we're going to have to get the particle animations and fill planes and all that fun stuff into the map. So interestingly enough, I think a lot of this is going to change in the FS17 version. FS17. My gosh, I'm out of whack today. Alright, so we're not going to get too much into editing. I'm going to copy stuff over from Rivers and show you where it has to be located and everything else. One of the things we need, and this is probably going to be disappearing. My guess is that the multi-fruit module that we're using right now in conjunction with the multifruit.zip are going to be put into the material holders, which I will show you in a minute. All that information, they say in the next version, all the equipment will be able to automatically detect it. So, and they said via use of material holders in one of their videos. So my guess is that this part will not need to be there, but it's hard to say. We'll find out in the near future. Right now I need those two mods in here. This is the ones from the PV Rivers map. I'm going to extract the multi-fruit module standard real quick, and it'll unzip itself right here. And what I'm looking for is the multifruit config.xml file. That is where all the multifruit are in there. And it's already set up for all of the ones we have, but there are two of them. Let's see. Dinkle and Triticale, which I don't think are set up. Sometimes they're in the default section down below here, but I don't see them. So we've got to add those two, because there'll be two that we're going to keep in there from the map. So just copy one of the multifruit lines and change the new name to Dinkle, D-I-N-K-E-L, and we're going to substitute whatever holds barley. That's the standard tippers and stuff. The cutter will be the same as the barley cutter, and the seeder will also be anything that holds barley will seed it. Now with the interesting thing is we're going to make a change, and that is sunflower. We're going to change that to maize because they're pretty sure they're going to use the corn headers on that. So we're going to substitute that with a corn header, so we'll be doing and we'll leave the seeder the same. Whatever seeds corn or rape will seed the sunflower. So I'm going to change that one. I got one more to add in here, which is the Triticale. Whoops, T-R-I-T-I-C-A-L-E. I think that's how you spell it. So I just keep it all nice and neat. Well, barley, 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 that's fine. Okay, save that. And then what I do is I select them all, re-zip this, and I got a copy of it right here. I will copy that out of there and overwrite the one that's in my folder, and then I don't need this anymore. So that's all that's needed for the multi-fruit to be detected on the all the combines, tippers, and everything. So yeah, there's 3 banks there. Crazy. I know it could get a little confusing, but the biggest bank in the world, that's the one you need to go to. Okay. So with any luck, all of the tippers and stuff will take it. Now, currently the material holders and stuff are not in the map, so if you had the sunflower, for instance, it would just show whatever crop is the default that we have set up in that standard if it doesn't exist in the material holders. But we're going to add the material holders and the particle animation holders that we have done so far into the map. And that is, it's pretty simple. We're going to go to the rivers map once again, because everything's already done there. This is probably going to change, so I'm doing it the quick way. I have the fill planes and the particle animations. Those are particle animations, has everything we need for the particle animations, and the fill planes has everything we need except for obviously triticale and stuff. So I'm going to copy those 2 folders right over to the new map. And they have to be in the base directory, same where all the folders right here, so we'll put and paste those. They got to be in the same directory as your sample mod map Lua, or whatever the map Lua file is named. Sometimes they're different. So those 2 folders go into there. And that's when we get into the sample mod map Lua file that needs to be edited to tell it where to find those fruit planes, fill planes, and the particle animations for the seeder headers and all that. Well, the headers and particle animations, all that fun stuff, fill planes. So we're going to go to the sample mod map Lua file, which is right here. You will notice down in, well, it's on here, it's down by line 58, not too far down. You start getting these self-load i3D paths. And there's one here that says self-load i3D, and it has the particle material holder .i3D with a $data, and there's a $data vehicle fill planes material holder .i3D. Those with the $data in the beginning for the file path means it's calling it from Giant's engine. What we have to do is change the file path so it knows that it's in our map, and that's it. So same way with Pleasant Valley Lua over here. It's under particle animations, particle material holder. Well, I'm going to just copy that. That's for the particle material holder. So basically it's just removing the first 2 parts. Particle animations, particle material holder. I'm going to paste it over it just to make sure case and everything is right. Okay, and then the same thing for the fill plane material holder is right down here. Fill planes, fill plane material holder .i3D. So it's calling for the folder, and then the fill plane material holder is in that folder. It's very simple. If you look, it's looking for the fill planes and then the fill plane material holder file. And what the fill plane material holder file is a list of all the, and these are all the graphics for it as well. And it tells each of the fill planes what material to use for the fill type and all that fun stuff. And these will have to be added into, but it's not as easy as it sounds. So I'm not going to mess with it until they do the update, because I think that a lot of this information that's currently in this multi-fruit module is going to end up in a material holder somewhere so that the map can get it all. So with that being said, we have those two lines changed, and you save it, and we should be able to go into the map, but I'm going to load it up in the editor, and we might get some errors because of the stuff. It's hard to say. There's a lot of stuff that isn't linked yet because I didn't put all the crops in yet. I was lazy this week. Sorry. It won't take long, but we'll load up the map, and I want to get a little bit of a test on a couple things here. Here we are. We just have the warning for the cube map on the wood house that has to be fixed. Other than that, we're good. Alright, I'm going to take a field, our other starter field for now. Just going to plant some of the new crops to make sure that they're working alright, which are dinkle. So foliage layer, we're going to use the foliage paint, and if you remember last week, it's 7 and 8. 7 and 8 for fully grown. And let me get you have to have the add function selected, and we're going to do a square. Bring it down a little bit here. So that's what dinkle looks like ready to harvest. And we're going to test it. Now, because we didn't do the fill planes on this, we're not going to see. I'm not going to worry because I'm going to delete this afterwards. We're not going to see. We should see the substituted fill plane of barley instead of. I have to do all new graphics. I don't even know a dinkle plane. I'll try to find one. I don't know what dinkle would look like, and it'd probably look like barley. And the other one was the triticale, and oh yeah, 7 and 8 selected. And that one looks weird. All right, it's one of those very thin, so in the editor it doesn't look good until you're up close. Now, that is one of those ones. I'm going to check that line out and see if the view distance is set properly, or if it's just one. That's a problem with some of these. I may have to replace the triticale one if it looks funny in game, but we'll give it a shot and see what it looks like. And then, other than that one, we have the sugar cane, which we can test as well right there. I'm going to use those 3 for now, save the map, and get a combine up there. Probably a few combines. Let me see. Yeah, that'll work. So let's load up the game and do some testing. Sorry I'm a day late today, but I wasn't feeling all that up to, just a little under the weather yesterday, and I decided, it'd be better to hold off a day. Sometimes that happens. It's been so hot here, I wish winter would come. It's like this, my room is probably 105 degrees in here right now. Alright, let's go to a new save game. You have sugar cane in storage, but you don't know where it is. Where is it that I can pick it up? If you're talking about the iMenu storage, that isn't used. You have to have. You got to use the /key menu on the Rivers map, and that it'll tell you which silos has the stuff in it. Let me grab a harvester, and we should have planted some sunflowers just so I could see if the header worked, but I didn't. We'll worry about that later. And I don't care how big a header we have, I'm just going to test this thing. Sugarcane in storage. The storage from the this menu right here, just to be clear. On that map, don't even look at it because it's not using that. And Giants automatically adds values in there. And I don't have the slash menu in this map, but the slash key that's on the question mark, that's the one you want to use for the rivers map for any storage. Alright, and yeah, we gotta fix that triticale texture. It's like disappearing. I didn't check the view distance, but we might be able to fix it with the view. But let's give it a try and see what happens. Open this thing up. And I'm not going to do the whole field, but I want to test it. We'll do a hired worker, see if he can do it. If it starts picking it up, there we go. Now, like I said, it's going to show in this combine. It does have a windrow, which is kind of cool. It's a bright yellow window. And I haven't set up anything for the balers. We'll have to test all that stuff. And it's going to show right now in the combine as just regular barley because I don't have the fill planes in for anything, but we'll run a test. We're going to run a few tests here. We'll let that guy go. Get another one of those things. Let's see. Where am I going? Get this guy up there on the other one. Absolutely wouldn't have. Hopefully we'll have the other maps will be convertible. It might take some time and we might have to remove some things, but I'm going to give it a go this time. And while we're working on this one here, gotta have a new map. Oh, bad positioning. I'm using the teleport mod just so I can save some time and just test a couple things out. Gotta have a PV17, and I've got some good ideas, but it's really difficult to do it in the 15 editor, not knowing what changes are going to be done in 17. And hopefully we'll be able to save a lot of this stuff over and not have to do too much extra work. But you never know. So let's harvest away. And there's our Dinkel. Dinkelheimer is working. So that one also has a windrow with it too. Now I was just curious if the map maker, the default map dude, put in the capability for the balers. So I'm going to grab one of those right now and bring it up here with, oh, I don't know. We'll bring the case magnum with a baler. I think that'll do it. Balers. And we'll grab a big baler. I need to know if I have to do anything. Back it up. And teleport to somewhere around here. Oh wow, that was good. so let's see if this baler will pick up the windrow or if it needs to be done something else. Lower pickup, turn on baler, and drive. Yeah, I gotta do something to be able to bale that windrow. We'll figure that one out, and I'll let you know what I had to do. I know that it's probably got to be done. I did it for the oat and the rye. There was a special script thing. And I don't want to get too much into special scripts until I figure out what's going on. So we need to make sure that the baler can pick up, and it does not. I'll make a note of that. But the combines are working, and let me get a trailer up here. Well, we're gonna need another tractor. I don't have... Here, let's bring this big dude up. And a tipper. I don't have any mods really installed right now because it's easier to work on the map, just the very basic ones to get the map rolling. Will this thing tow that sucker? I hope so. I never use this. Oh, there. Attach Q. And fly. Let's see if we can offload a combine. Hey, Amaki, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Now this should take it, but like I said, it should look like barley until we fix it in the fill planes, which we will when the map is released. Those material holders are subject to change, so I'm not going to do all the work on it now, and I might have to redo a whole new material holder later on. And I'm trying to save that for later, but right now I'm going to offload this combine so I can test the sugar cane out and make sure that that actually shows up. And it should. Where is that sugar cane? It's around here somewhere. Field 1, way over there. It's not showing up. There it is. Draw distances are pretty low just because you guys know the lag that will come along with increasing. But they're the same as the last map. 4x maps. Oh, it's still not doing sugarcane. What the heck's up with that? I think I know why. I'm not using our multi-fruit utility Lua. The guy has something else built into this map, and I'll explain that right now. Let's see. What does he have? Different people have different scripts they run in the maps for doing this type of thing, and I'm used to using one. He has additional fruit types Lua right here, I think is probably the one. And it is loading up. Yeah, this is where it gets all the fruit type information. And he doesn't have... Where is he getting... I hate Lua scripts, but where is he getting the information from? Add to maps mod description 110 end section, the fruits. Okay, so he's using it where in the mod description, here's his fruit type listings right here, which tell it oat, rye, dinkel, triticale, sunflower, and it gives it all the the growth states, allow partial growth state, part of economy, the color on the map. Basically, everything that you need, but what our map does, and I like ours better, is, so let me see, PV Rivers. In our scripts file, it is using the, oh, which one is it? Is it the fruit register? I don't think it's here. Where is it? That's to register some of them, but we're using, here, easiest way to do is go to your mod description. I don't know where I put the multi-fruit utility Lua file. It's been so long. If you open it up and go down here to the extra source files section, you will find one of them points to the multi-fruit utility Lua. It's right in the Lua folder. Should have known that. So what we're going to do is copy this multi-fruit utility Lua right here to a folder named Lua in the other map right in the base of it. So new folder. This is where all our scripts are going to be, and because everything's in a Lua folder on the other one, I'm going to paste it right over here. So now that we have that, let's see. Our multi-fruit utility Lua has to be called from the mod description file, just like it is in the other map. I know this stuff can get confusing, how I'm jumping around, but we're going to leave that one running just for the heck of it and see what happens. But I'm going to extra source files. Right here in the extra source files, we want to have, and do I still have the other one open? This source file pointing to the Lua folder. Copy that. Lua multi-fruit utility Lua .lua. So that whole line can go right in over here too. So it's pointing to the Lua folder and the right script. It's basically file paths as your source files, tells where to find things. And these run when the map boots up, so now it will run that script that we copied over that has all of our fruit information. If we take a look at the multi-fruit utility Lua file, the reason why I like this is the way it's organized, and we have so many in there, as you could see. This one doesn't contain the triticale and the, but I'm going to run it with the other one and see what happens. So it might do all of them. It might mess up sunflower because sunflower's in there twice. But all our fruits, now we should at least, if this is working, we should be able to load up the map and cut the sugarcane. And I'll check for errors on the double scripts running as well. There's going to be a lot of errors from fruit types that are not registered, probably. Very cool. Yeah, whoops, not multiplayer. There could be a lot of errors from the fruit types that aren't registered yet, but we have 1,000,000,001 in here from the other map. Too many fill types. Yeah, 64 supported. So we do. That's going to be one of the big issues too. If we can't get that fruit script running on that mod there, you know, the one that gives us more than 64, the 64 fix mod in 2017, we're not going to do anything. We're kind of frozen here because of all that crazy junk going on. So let me get rid of that and grab the let's see, it's the AAA 64 fix and put that in our folder. If this mod can't be converted easily and they don't support more than 64, it could be a while before we can run any of the maps that I did because they have so many fill types. But let's keep our fingers crossed that that won't happen. Cutting them back to 64 is going to be quite a job. It says you have 2.5 million. Where are you seeing that you have 2.5 million? Let's see. Where is it reading that you have 2.5 million? If you have 2.5 million, it should be where you put it. Did I start up there? Yeah, we did. Okay. Another test. Give me a combine. How's the error log look? Should be better now. Error, can't load resources for all the HUD files are not in there. That's another folder that has to be copied over. The HUDs folder, they're all called, which is very simple. Means that we're not going to have the HUD file. Additional fruit types. Alright, so it says fruit type sunflower, carrot, and onion already exist, and it will skip the registration. So it's not throwing a real error, but it doesn't need it twice. So we'll probably drop those 3 out of the other script and get them in there. So all these errors for the missing HUD files are very simple to fix. We'll get that done later. Let me go see if I can now cut my my sugar cane. Another thing we can't do is set up our default starting vehicles because all of that, I mean, they're going to be new starting vehicles. So I don't know how much further we're going to be able to go. I'm going to put some trees on the map because I figure, yeah, they're going to... Did I get the wrong size header or am I just doing a bad job here? Oh, I got to click that OK. I figure I could do a find and replace with the new trees if they change them too much. That should be easy enough. Oh man, I'm in the fence. There, get out of the fence. If there's 2.5 million sugarcane on your map, you must have harvested it and dumped it somewhere. And usually where you dump it is where you would get it back out. Alright, please work this time. There we go. See, the particle animations on the headers should be in FS17 in the new material holders. They're going to have that for the headers as well. And hopefully the rear animations, we can get all those to work. But for right now, they don't. While this guy's going, let me go down and get another tipper because I want to just make sure that my particles on this one are working before we move on. Hey KW, how's it going? Good to see you out there. Everything's going okay here. Did I not get a good tractor? I'll try another tipper. I don't think we can use that one. Okay. Need a smaller tractor for that. Alright. Teleport me somewhere about there. Well, there we go. Let's go find our sugarcane dude. He's doing just fine. We're going to just test and make sure that this tipper has that and the pipe have the right particle animations. There's no error on that part, so we're pretty good to go with that, I'm sure, but it's always good. You never know. Everything appears like it should be working. We're not going to have an icon yet because I didn't put the HUD files in. That'll throw an error probably. And this one, alright, we do have the sugarcane texture on both the pipe and the trailer. Not that it's a good sugarcane texture, but it is a texture that's different. And I'm not going to reinvent the wheel right now. So that's good. Let's get out of there. One last thing to do is I'll show you, we had a whole list of errors, and if you're using my mod folder switcher program, as I am, where is it? I've got it open twice, we don't necessarily need that. If you click your log file button, it'll bring you right to your log file. And you'll see all of these have to do with the HUDs and all those HUD files not showing up because we don't have them. So every single one of those is a HUD file error, and can't open the fill plane shader and fill icon shader XML. Those two have to be added as well. But let's get rid of the HUD, and that's simple. If we go to the rivers map, there's a whole, I'm going to copy the whole thing because we're hopefully going to be able to use all the HUD, but there's all the HUD files for the whole entire map. And that script we added, the multi-fruit utility Lua script, which is in our Lua folder, references all of those HUD files. You can see them right here. Texture Path Soup HUD DDS and Truffle HUD, and all the HUD files are referenced right there. HUD overlay file name, so it couldn't find them. Now it should be able to find those. And the other ones that are missing are data. Alright, flour mill, fill icon shader XML, and fill plane shader XML. Why is it? I'm not going to even worry about those right now. They're easy to get rid of by putting those folders, but we don't even have the flour mill in there, so don't ask me why. It's pointing to that. But if I boot it up again, I'm just going to check and make sure all my other errors are gone. Then we're going to get back into the editor and do some trees, maybe some grass. Let's pop that up. Alright, so we had just the 3. Okay. You can see there's now Error, failed to open XML file. The fill icon shader. And can't load resource data flour mill rye and .dds. So those can be relinked, or you can just move the files over. We will get rid of those at some point, but I'm not going to touch them yet because the flour mill might be coming into this map and everything. All the fruits are registered though, every single one of them. Some of them twice. So that is all I need to see for this moment. And we can get rid of oat and rye in the... I think those are the only two that are duplicated. Oat and rye. So actually sunflower I think is 2, but let's quit this. If I go into the mod description file for the new map, where he has them registered, I'm going to keep everything in one spot right now for mine. So these two here don't need to be registered, and the sunflower doesn't need, is in our script as well. Carrot and onion are too. None of those should need to be registered in this map, in there. So eventually I'll move these into the other script too. But just to have them there, they're there. Let's get back into the editor. I'm going to close it to make sure and reopen it just in case I made any changes. Ah. Lars is out there, and Scott Anime. How you guys doing? Let's see. So this is a starting field which I need to plant at some point, but I haven't decided which 2 crops so far I'm going to start you with. But we need to at least get rid of the junk that I was testing. And that's another reason to keep that field open for now is I'm going to have new fruit types to test still. So I'm going to leave that. I could bore you guys to death with some planting of grass, which we'll do a little bit. Let's see, it's a foliage layer, grass, and bits 7 and 8 are full length grass, and it's not doing anything. Maybe it isn't 7 and 8. Does that look like it's full? It's so hard to tell. 7 and 8. 8 disappears. So grass is only going to get the 7 or maybe the 8. Grass works differently than the other. It's definitely the 8. Definitely works differently than the others. And before I go too far with this, I got to run in the game and make sure it shows up as full grown. It's hard to tell in the editor. Yeah, it looks like it's fully grown. So the bits are a little bit funny because we're using the 60, and I don't have them memorized. It's just a matter of knowing how to find them. And the first 4 are set up for the crop types and stuff. So it's experimenting with the rest of them, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to get the height, the growth stage you want on all this stuff. One thing we need to do for sure is, now that we're getting into this, we're going to take the round brush, we're going to shrink it down a little bit. We're going to set on smooth, And we're going to smooth the grass. You got a choice. Either smooth it down the grass or smooth in the rock. I'm going to choose the grass. And that's the one that's going to creep out a little. We're just going to smooth out the edge a little bit. I actually will probably put a dirt transition in here as well. Who knows? If you got too much rock going down, but it kind of blends the sharp edges in, and it'll look a lot better. We're going to cover it up a little bit with the grass edge anyway, so you won't see too much of the sharpness, but smoothing out your edges always makes it look a lot better. So I'm just going to go up this way a little bit. Now that one is kind of coming down in the flat zone, so if I go to the add button, I can bring in the grass a little bit further. Then go back to smooth. You just kind of gauge it. Now there's actually grass growing on the hill that we need to bring back. That's why it's getting that funky green color up here. It's the distance texture for grass instead of the distance texture for the mountain, and that's one way to spot grass on the map. Alright, so we have short grass there, but way back here somewhere we have our regular grass. Which is oh, that's right. Add. Select add, and it was 8. And also, one of these bits can make it so the grass can't be mowed. And we've had that issue before too. You guys can remember in the past. So I want to make sure that our mower can run on this, and I have the right one selected before we get too far. So we get a little bit of grass in here. Let me go in and see if we can mow grass. Is it 6 and 7? It could be. Let's see. I saved it. Let's see. The bits change depending on the number of fruit types. I think 6 and 7 might be for 32. It could be. Is it 6 and 7? Here, we'll do a patch of 6 and 7. It's definitely something. I think it's that might be non-mowable. Let's go in and we'll check it out on the color map, and it looks like it's a stage behind mine. So we'll check it out. It's the guide that Giants gives you is for 15 fruit types, and I never actually wrote this. Somebody's probably got all the bits written down somewhere. And that's what these foliage channels are, just selecting the right ones. 6 and 7 does something, and 8 does something else. And I think we want 8, but we're going to find out. Now, if you're going to go to 32-bit, 32 fill type map, which I showed you guys how to do that a couple videos ago, I think, then all those numbers change anyway. But if I don't see why you can't set it up for 64 and just have the ability to expand it without changing everything. It's one of those things that, whoops, I always do that, click multiplayer, that if you get it right from the beginning, you don't have to mess with it later on. You can always add those fill types if you go over 32 to number 33. Then this map's going to be ready for it. It may make a difference in lag because you're saving room for those extra fill types. You have a bigger database type thing deal going on, so that could be a reason why. And I'm not concerned because I've done so many maps with this 64 setting that it usually isn't a problem for me. But if I was to do a 16x map, I definitely... Wow, that is different. I wonder if that's a growth stage behind. Let's take a look in our... Where is it? Alright. We did this area, and I think it's just a stage behind right here. That's the other one. And you can see all the other place that has grass that has to be removed. Oh my gosh. Alright, so we definitely have green grass where we did. Right over here. And let me get a mower up here. Oh, let's see. I'm going to do just something quick and simple. Oh, we need money. If you're going to work on a map, get one of those money mods like this one, and you can just add money. It's a necessity. Oh, let's see. I never used the Steyr tractors. Let's see how that works with a mower. Whoops. Probably won't start it. Hey, Dana881, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Alright. Will this mow? Lower mower turn on? Well, hopefully. Didn't check the power requirements, but right about there. Close enough. So as long as we can lower the mower and turn it on, and if the grass mows, I'm good to go with bit 8. Yeah, okay, we've got grass being mowed. And I think that this one over here probably is mowable too, but it's just an earlier stage. No, yeah, it is. It's just a earlier stage. So we're good there. I remember one map, I don't even know if it's, but I think it was PV Rivers, the first version. I did the whole freaking map in a wrong bit set. The grass looked right, but it was not mowable. Boy, was that a pain. I am doing well. Oh, let's get out of here. So we have the right grass. The right grass bit is number 8 on the 64-bit or the 64 fill type selection. So you can paint your grass all day long, and I will do this a little bit now, but to be honest with you, I don't want to spend the whole night tonight painting grass. I just want to get some tree areas in here, and I don't even know if I want this to be grass, but it is right now. I haven't really thought it out. I'm just gonna do things, and a lot of times when I'm designing things, I kinda say, that's not what, after I do it, it doesn't look the way I want it to, so it's sometimes gets deleted. Hopefully I'll get it right the first time, occasionally. But I wanted to get some trees in on this side of the road, and I'm not sure if I don't want forest trees, but I want this area to be very interesting, to say the least. A little bit different this time. And I'm tired of using the same trees. I do think that they have more tree types for FS17. And let's hope that's the case. And we can just do a find and replace down the road. with new trees instead of the same old ones that we're sick of looking at. So, there's a lot to go around the edge there. But what I want to do is up here by the farm area. See, it's hard because I don't even know what's going to stay and what's going to go. So I guess the cow pen, but we might have a barn cut in here. So I don't want to plant a bunch of grass that I'm going to have to take away. And I think this area over here is pretty safe. And then we're going to get down into this area down here, which is going to be our forest area. With, oh boy, look at all that grass. Get rid of it. With our switchbacks coming down the hill. And then we're going to finish this forest off with a whole bunch of trees. Come on, get rid of it. We've got grass everywhere from the default map just appearing. That's texture showing through my rock. There, not anymore. On to this side, get that off of there. Alright. So this side of the road, and I'm doing it pretty rough right now, but I want to get into showing you guys trees once again. And this map, I don't think, let's find out. New map, Lear. It'd be in map, might be in models natural. He has ivy, don't need that. I don't think world, no, it doesn't. I don't think he has the trees in here. So what we need to do is grab the tree set from the default map by going, oh my gosh, look at all these folders I have open. I'm a little bit crazy. Let's see. See. Any redwoods being added? I have no idea. All they said were there were new tree types. Boy, it would be great if there were redwoods. If you want orchards, I guess you have to go to Farm Expert. Those orchards are pretty cool. Although we have our placeables, and man, I wish we could get orchards to work like they do in Farm Expert. You never know. We'll see what the tools offer us. We will be able to pick up objects, so maybe we'll be able to pick up the crates of fruit and load them into a truck after all eventually. Modders might come up with something. Program files, farming simulator, data, maps, and you're going to go into textures. Terrain, is it in? I have to find them. Nope, not there. Models, yeah, it's in models natural. That's right, models natural. You want this trees folder. It has all your tree types and all the graphics to go with them. So copy that tree folder. You can put it anywhere you want in your own map. I'm going to put it right in models, objects, and paste my trees. It has all the individual i3D files, so if we go in here, let's make sure I got models, objects, trees, you'll see all the individual i3D files. So around the farm, I don't know what tree marker is, but we're going to grab the maple tree for starters. And what we're going to do is create a new transform group. And farm, I'm just going to name it farm trees, and I'm going to cut my maple and paste it into there so we have them all in one little group for later on. There's my maple. Let's get that cursor off. And when it's selected, left control B, click, and let's see, and there's our maple. But there is a way, I forget. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Let me figure this out. Control B, click. And which one do I hold down? Control? Which one? Oh, Shift. Shift does a copy without rotating. That's interesting. But I think it's Alt. Let me delete that one. Or is Shift getting... Yeah, you want to find the one that Alt. So practice. Control B, click. Oh, I gotta hold down. My gosh, I'm so out of practice doing this. Either way, you can Razor, thank you for the follow. Our Crazer. Thank you very much. I gotta figure this out. What is it? Control B, click, Shift. Does one duplicate? Alt? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Anybody remember? I taught this in a lesson. Which one is it? Control? Control. There it is. With your mouse button staying down, you can hit the control. And I think, is it spinning the tree? Yeah, it's spinning it randomly on the axis is what I wanted. So we can fill in just tapping the control with the left mouse button still held down. Boy, you can fill in trees everywhere. Not that we want, whoa, you don't want to do that. If you see something really screwy, delete that tree because it probably won't be standing up straight. So we have maple. Let's bring in some other trees as well. I'm going to keep the pines for the forest, but we have an oak tree, and I'm going to put that in the same folder. Edit, cut. Notice why I did that. You have them all highlighted. If you highlight the folder, we can replace every tree in that folder pretty easy, or get rid of the whole folder if we want to. So we're gonna, and yeah, sometimes it's easier to do it from up above. Just fill in the different tree areas. And it's random. So, but if you want to plant a lot of trees and fast, this is the way to do it. Occasionally you have to drop that one last tree somewhere to move your screen a little bit. And you could always grab one of the previous ones to continue on, kind of get an idea. Now, you guys have seen me do it this when it's easier to do this way from above, but this is where you sometimes get the trees where they're floating, because if you get on top of one and you click the button just right, it'll be actually floating on one of the other trees, and that's never good. But this is a quick way to plant 1,000,000 trees. And we're going to have a lot on this map. I don't know if I'm going to keep these trees though. I was going to show you guys something though with this in a minute. Because see how, actually I just showed, see how it's raising up right there? If I clicked right there, it would be on top of another tree. And that's where, getting back to ground level to see what you have going on, we want it pretty dense this time. But let's say Giants comes out with all new trees and i3D files for new, I think they're supposed to have new models of the current trees as well. What we would do is we're going to copy those over to the map, and let's say they had, let me bring in another tree type for the example here. Let's see, let's bring in the birch tree, one of my least favorites. No, actually it's good in spots. I'm just so sick of using the same trees. I hope they come in with another model. Alright. Now, I have one birch tree right there. If, say that's a new Giants tree. Hello, new Giants tree. What you can do is, say it's going to replace, say this was the old birch tree. If you go to, and let's hope this works, select one of the maples. That's the old birch tree. And go to Edit, Replace. It has this first tree, and then it says Replace With. Okay? So we're going to go over here and highlight that tree and click Load, Replace, and then click the Replace All. Now every one of those trees just turned into a birch. So it will be easy to do, actually, when they come out with the new ones. So I'm not too concerned, and these trees are more or less placeholders for the new trees when they come. So I'm not even concerned what tree types they are right now, because I'm praying that we can replace them with something different. But I want a couple different trees through here. Maybe I'll even add in, seeing as I replaced all the maples, I don't have the maple in the folder anymore, so I have to re-import the maple and get some of those back in here. But that's one of the cool things about this, is that you can do a find and replace, but it's difficult because it will replace every single one of those in the map. And if you have some that you don't want to replace, then you're going to be having issues, that's for sure. Let's get some more of these maples mixed back in here. That'd be a fun forest to cut down. Alright. Notice how I dropped that one right on top of the other one. Gotta be careful of that. You know what happens when you do that. You have those are the trees on my maps that you cut one, and underneath it there's another one, and sometimes two, because I didn't move after I clicked and placed two trees directly on top of each other. I've seen it in other people's maps as well, but yeah, it's one of those easy things to do. Or a sticky key. I'm just going to kind of get an idea of what this looks like in the game down through here. See, there's one of those ones that I dropped on the top. That's why I always go down to ground level. It actually hit this branch of the tree. So we want to left control B and click it down onto the ground. Alrighty. I think that looks pretty good, but you never know. There could still be something floating out there, and there's a big gap right over here. See how it goes up on top? Yeah, you want to make sure you don't have any floaters. There. We're going to have trees on this map. Some of them are going to be quite a bit. Now, another interesting thing about putting them in a folder as well is if we click on the farm trees, you'll see there's always an index path, and it's 46, and this is 0. So the last tree, we could tell right now that I have 116 it says, plus 0. So there's 117 trees planted already in that little area. I want to go in the game and see if it's getting the look that I want to accomplish. I'm going to put some weeds and stuff in there too this time around, hopefully. We shall see what it looks like. Get the overall feel. Then it's duplicate. Duplicate it everywhere you go. Ah, you had a sloppy joes and you didn't save any for me. I'm glad that the tutorials are helping you there, Razor. I mean, that's why I do it. I've got to do all this anyway, so it's really, I figure why not broadcast more of what I'm doing so you guys can do it too. It's going to be a long process, so you'll have time to do your own map along with me. I got to do everything. I'm going to skip boring repetitive things and not show you that, but if I'm doing something for the first time, I'll try to get it up while we're making this map. And who knows what it's going to be like when we get the here. I like to drive around. I don't know why. Whoops. I gotta drive by. Gotta do a drive-by. Yeah, who knows what we're going to be able to save or what the new editor's going to do, but we'll find out. That's for sure. A lot of grass has to come in. Might even put some trees out here in the fields. What do you guys think? In between the fields, a little bit of trees that you can either keep or cut them down. I think that I want to definitely make a more visual experience on this one. Does too many trees cause more lag? You can put a crap load of trees. You just don't, I mean, just look at how dense your forests are. That's the key, really, is how dense. I mean, these are spread pretty far. I like the looks of that already. I really do. The way we're coming down, I'm going to put some weeds in there. I want it to fill in the area. I'm going to put some on the other side of the road as well. So you're going to be driving down through. We're going to fill in all this right up to the end. But I don't want to, well, we'll see what we get. But yeah, they're mixed up pretty good. Maybe we'll get some new tree types we can put in there. They look good with that grass. And with the birches mixed in, it's not so bad. I'm liking the looks of it while you're coming down to the farm. So let's get some on the other side of the road and fill in all the rest of that area, which is a lot. A lot. The density of your forests, if you notice when I create things, there's you can get inside and it's usually not too bad. I mean, if I have I'm gonna get 59, 60 frames, occasional drop when I'm looking or spinning near the trees just a little bit, but it's how dense they are. I mean, literally you can put a lot of trees on a map, and as long as they're spread out and not trunks every 3 inches. So I remember one of the original maps I did, I wanted to make it so you couldn't drive between the trees. Well, guess what? That's going to make it impossible. I mean, you could drive through here. Just keep them spread out like I have them a little bit, and you'll be fine. You can put them all over the place. I think I've had up to 10, 11,000 trees on one of them, and we had... You love your 9 frames per second. PV Rivers. You need a new computer, I think. The rivers, actually that forest, I could go through Rivers Forest and still have 50. It'll drop your frames, but you can have a ton if you have a decent computer. My settings are all maxed out. Some of you will probably get 20, 30, but we're going to start getting dips as we're spinning below that 60 because we're rendering in stuff. And with the crops on the field, it's going to go a little bit here and there. But who knows? Giants is doing some new things that are supposed to help that stuff too. We will see. I'm liking the way that looks, so let's get in there. Whoops. And continue doing what I've been doing, which is fill in the grass. We'll get this whole side of the road done, and then a little bit on the other side of the road. Whoa. Undo. I just, what the heck? How did my circle get so big? And we have grass selected, bit number 8. Yep. I think I planted trees out way beyond my grass. Yeah, I did. Which doesn't help. Should have planted all the grass first. Now I can't see where. But it can be spotty in here. We're going to put some weeds in here too and see how it looks. Get a little bit of flowers or weeds in. We've got some of them to work with, so why not give it a little different look. Bring it right out to the road. And in some instances, the grass doesn't have to be perfect because it's not that way in real life either, you know? There are bald spots in my backyard, especially the way my brother-in-law mows, but don't tell him I said that. He might be listening. I'm going to get my square brush because when I get to areas like this, I like to square it off a little bit around my roads. PETA sent a letter to Giants? No, I didn't see it, but I'd love to. Are they complaining about us killing animals? Or is it just some joke that somebody's got out there? Holy moly, I'm trying to figure out what you said there. Let's see. Still trying to find a mine pit, but haven't seen the one I've went in before. Yet I know it's there, but I've been surfing for where I can find one. I have no idea. Mine pit? The one... I had a mine pit in FS 2013 that was built in... I think if that's what the one you're talking about, it's the one you drive down in and it's one big graphic. Oh. Oh, 7 Days to Die. You guys are on another game. I miss half of this stuff. For 7 Days to Die, I know where to find the mines. Now, it all depends if you're... I don't know if that's randomly generated or not. Is it? The mines in 7 Days to Die? Are they random or are they the same on the the same map, the starter map, as well as everybody else's. I have very good luck with the mines. Just dig a tunnel down below the surface in the forest area, hit the bedrock, go through it about 5 more blocks down, and then dig horizontally, and do it near the clay areas on the surface. That's my method of finding mines, and it's always worked for me. Sometimes you got to dig a long tunnel to find them, but I've got some pretty serious mines. Actually, if you stick around, I'll show you my base after I'm done here. They want more detail in the pig slaughtering so that we can be educated on what a pig goes through. Okay, that's odd. I would thought that they wouldn't want slaughtering in it at all. But hey. PETA. What are you gonna do? I don't know what to say about that. I would think they would want no pigs being represented at all. Just happy live on the farm. So we gotta fill in the grass on both sides of this road because we're gonna put in some more trees to make it impossible for you to harvest the field. No, not really. You know me better than that. If it's possible for me to harvest a field, I wouldn't do it. Although, one of the cool things is, trees can be cut. All the trees. Can't do that on Farm Expert, which, by the way, speaking of Farm Expert, segue. I segued. They have had some updates, and it is getting better, and I like to play it for what it is, but it's never going to be Farming Simulator. And I've probably got 100 hours in over there already. It has some cool things, different, that I like, but bugs out the wazoo. Multiplayer, good luck getting that to work, and if you do, it only has, I mean, there's just too many issues, and some of them are serious, like crops disappearing. I think it's just rendering issues, and they need to work it out, but we'll see if they can actually get those out. Usually, I mean, multiplayer was dropped last time on the 2016 version. It's the same one as the last one. They keep saying it's working for them. Well, guess what? You have a multiplayer list in the game, and when you go on it, there's never anybody in there because nobody else can connect. If Giants do Let's Mod on console, would you create a map for the console? Would I create a map for the console? Oh, that's a tough question. Yeah, probably not. Because I don't think that it can run standard specialized scripts. That's another reason why I think that they actually included the additional fruit type stuff into the map so you don't have to have a separate file to run the fruit types like we do now. I mean, some of the changes obviously that they did were to get cross-platform stuff. That being said, we wouldn't be able to have the factory. We'd basically have a redesigned version of whatever is released if I did a map on the console. If they surprise me with some more functionality, for the consoles, and we can do something to improve. I mean, I could design any. I don't even think you can do a 4X map for the console. We'll have to see what comes down. It's too early to tell, if at all possible. But we shall see when the time comes. So let's grab one of our tree types. We'll start with this one, I guess, because we already have some down here. One thing you got to make sure is sometimes when you click a tree like this, you'll get the inside LOD files, level of detail files, and if you start duplicating one of those all over the place and not the actual tree, then you're going to have some major issues in your map. Make sure you get the actual tree, not one of those LOD files. It'll look fine until you go and you start running into invisible things all over your map. So we're just going to fill in this area all the way down. Space these out a little bit so we can squeeze some of the other trees and types in between. And let's get a couple down here. And did I turn that one on its side? Yeah, I did. By accident. Hit a wrong button. Don't want to do that. And why are those yellow lines still there? Alright, let's see. I don't know. Hope I didn't mess everything up. It'll probably go away. Alright, let's grab the birch tree. We can grab any one. There's one up there. We're going to bring some birches in here. Fill in. I don't know why the light source. There it goes. If there's a collisionable object in the back of that field that we don't see, you guys saw me do it here live and you can complain. That's how little mistakes happen like that. I don't see anything back there. I don't know why the lines, this editor's so goofy sometimes that it just does that stuff. So I'm just holding the shift button down and clicking the control key every time I want to place one, and it spins the object just a little bit so they're not all facing the same direction. And now we've got to get our other tree type mixed in as well, our oak. So duplicate and then click, 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 click. Fun stuff. You may, doing it this way, end up with some floaters. I try not to, but it's the quicker way than being down on the ground level and trying to get everything in. Time saving is a must when you're working on a 4X map, because you'll see we'll be planting lots of trees. Just take a look, make sure none of them are really poking out of the top too much. Let's get it down in this side a little bit, and it's really random. Duplicate and then Control B, click. Make it random so it looks natural. I guess if you did a tree farm it wouldn't look natural, so you can do something like that. Line them all up perfectly. There's ways to do that too. But for this demonstration, we're going random. It's like painting mountains. You guys get to watch me do one thing for an hour and a half. Or 3 days. But we're learning. Which tree don't I have? I guess that's the one, right? The oak. Fill in the rest of this. Alright, let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good to me. Let's go run some along the other side now. That's the fun part. And we don't want to get too close to the field because I want you guys to be able to harvest it. So we're just gonna fill it in a couple rows deep on this side, make it look good. You'll still be able to get your combines in here. In at least one direction, going combine this way. There's plenty of headlands on that side and the other side, so yeah, you'll be able to do it. But we're going to get a lot more detail into this map with stuff than the last one. So you're going to have to live with bumping into trees if you want to do it the other direction. Random placement of trees. Let's grab... Oh, we got a little ways to go. Alright, let's get another tree type. Anybody want to guess how many trees we're going to have in just this little area? I'll check it when we're done. Get your guesses in. Closest one to the right amount gets nothing. Bragging rights. Hey Chetty, how's it going? We're doing a little bit of decorating today. Decorating on the new farm. Now we need oak. Last but not least, let's get some oaks on that side of the road as well. Like I said, I hope that they get some new trees. I'm keeping the forest trees for the forest areas. 200. Wife says 321. We've got some guesses. Just this side of the road, not the whole map. I mean, not this side of the road. Just this area that I'm working on. I haven't done the grass exactly all the way there. Let me grab that last one. I kind of just set it down so I can move out a little bit. Well, we'll know very shortly just how many trees I've got in here. And we'll see what our frame rates look like. I'm trying not to get too close to your field. Just kind of fill it in, that's all. Nothing too difficult. I just plant a bunch of one and then grab another type and... Whoops. I just messed that up. That's where we'd also get two tree types of the same on top of each other. You duplicate it and then don't move it? Yeah, that would be... Whoops, that one's floater. I could tell just by the way I put it down. We've got a floater. Alright. So, we're doing pretty good here. Let me bring that one over there. Put another one back there. This is just the beginning. Things can change. We might... I just want to have enough... Whoa. When you move it... and the reason why I do Control B click into place is because the stump is supposed to be a certain amount under the ground, right where that line is on the stump, so it cuts properly in the game. And if you do it any other way, you have to sit there and go, okay, let's see, is that line flush with just till it disappears? You know, and boy, that would take forever. I don't even trust moving mine just that little, so we'll replace that one. Alright, next thing I want to do is take a look at some of the foliage layers we have built in here and get a much smaller brush size. I'm going to go with really small. Actually, I'm going to go with a size of 1. And what that does is gives me a little weed type look. And I'm going to bring out a few of the foliage layer weeds, which are common ones, but we might even get some flowers. We have some purple flowers that we could place in here. We're going to sporadically put them toward the front to kind of give it, you know, a little bit of... And that's why I'm using a small circle, just to give little pieces. So when you're dry, and we're going to have it along the road. This is a lot of stuff that I like to do, make it look really cool, but it takes a lot of extra time. Oh, you want to know how many trees we had? For those of you who are guessing, we had 316. Somebody was counting. Wow. 321 was pretty darn close. 316, almost. If I could make it 321. That's really incredible. Good guess. So we're going to just do a little bit of this out by the road, so it looks interesting as we're coming down in here. Not a ton. And I might not like it. You guys have seen me go back and say, oh crap, that doesn't look the way I wanted it to. But I think it's going to look pretty good like this. I'm doing it in the front, not all the way back, because the flowers don't grow in this shady area. So that's my theory. They grow in these grassy areas. You won nothing. You won bragging rights. First time you win and there's no prize. Oh, that's awful. I might want another tree or so in up here near the gap that's going to go down to the forest area. We got to do the same thing on this side. And this, though, because there's a field on the other side, I think we'll probably go over there and put some in as well on that field side. Who knows? Maybe I won't, just because if you guys want to cut down trees and expand your field a little bit, you'll have these weeds to contend with. So we'll give you a little room over there. That's all the things you got to think of. These weeds are planted, they are not mowable. You can mow the grass around the trees, but if you were to put a field here, you'd have weeds growing up in the middle of it, I believe. I don't think you can even cultivate. You might be able to cultivate them out, but I'm not sure. Probably not. Click, click, click. Just fill in those areas. The brighter the area, the more flowers I give it. But if you want a high detailed map, you got to do all the little things, which I tend to skip a lot because time constraints on all the other stuff. But I'm gonna go for it this time. You guys, this should be awesome. Let's hope. We'll bring a little bit down that side. All right. We didn't get up here along this side a little bit. Alright, let's see what else we have. That's the handlewort or whatever. Eisenhut, I think. Is that the purple flower? We're going to do the whole thing with these mixed in too. Right around the pink areas. You can start seeing it get some depth and detail. I'm going to add a little bit more of the purple around the pink. Kind of surround them a little bit. Very random. Whoa, where am I? Sometimes my mouse goes crazy. Where the heck? Oh, that's that end of that. And just kind of add those little details in, and it's going to look pretty darn spiffy, I think, when we get in game and drive down the road. But as you could see, map making and getting a very detailed map is very time consuming. We're working in such a small area of the map, but I want to finish most of this before we get... I mean, I can't do too much other than get a basic feel for what I want to do until the darn new editor comes out, because I got to make sure that I can get trains in and all this new stuff, have room for it. And putting all these fine details in can't be done everywhere yet, or I won't have any place to rip up and put the new stuff in. So I'm kind of steering away from a lot of areas, but getting an idea. And we're almost to the end of this side. I can't wait to look at this in the game though and see just how it's coming out. And then I might have to take the big delete brush. No. It happens. No, I think it's going to look good. I have faith. I like the way the grass texture mixes with these flowers this time around. It looks really like they belong there. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. And if I like it, you guys have to. Alright, let's do the other side of the road. A little bit. I've heard a lot about the new editor. They're going to have, but I mean, I think I've heard all that there is out there, except for I don't have a copy of it. And they did release 7.0 editor at FarmCon to those that were in attendance only. And I think that they were probably sworn to not give it out or whatever, because I've been searching the internet and I have not found a copy of it anywhere. But the editor would be really nice to have in advance, like some people have. They have the beta copy. It's subject to change, but it'll kind of be nice to just start the conversion process and go, you know? They should give it to us a little bit earlier. That would be nice. But no, I'll have to wait probably till October 15th. And now it's at the point where it's almost there anyway. What do we got? A month and 5 days left. And I think it's the 15th. Was it the 15th? Somebody could correct me. Or is it earlier or later? It's around there. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been on that site. Yeah, the Bob Ross of Farm Simulator. Oh, we are painting some flowers to get some detail. Now we have the option, and I'm going to look in the editor, see what it's looking like, but I was thinking about putting more weedy look, even deeper, a third layer, but I'm not going to do that tonight. We're almost out of time. But we're going to check this out in our game and see what our new road looks like. Let's check it out. Oh, Giants Editor 7.0 preview, huh? I'll have to check that out. I've seen a lot of stuff, but I have not seen a preview of the editor. I've seen them talk about it a lot. I'd love to know exactly what's coming. I'm trying to find as much information as possible, because that's what helps me know where to go and what to do. I don't know how the trains are done. I think I'm going to have to wait for the tracks and stuff anyway to come out to put those new train tracks in. So it's going to be a while anyway. There's only so much you can do in the old editor without knowing. Blender Max and my i3D exporters. That's good. All right, let me get my truck because we got to drive the road, you know. Can't just walk down it. Wouldn't be right. Let's get something bright so we can find it. Okay. Here we go. Let's go check out the road to... And that's just one side. I'm going to do more around the farm and in between the houses and all that stuff, but I don't know which houses are going to stay yet. So it's going to be hard to do around this area. This will all be grass, obviously. I'm hoping we get some new models and stuff. And we don't know exactly what the barns are going to look like, but let me... Did I put HUD hider in? I don't think I did, no, but I can turn that off. So, if we're coming down our road now to the farm, frame rate's 60 to, yeah, we're floating right around 60, actually a little more than 60 at times. So, I like that quite a bit. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I think I do want to fill in the back with another weed type. But what do you guys think so far? I'm pretty sure as we come down here we'll work into the forestry trees going down. This is gonna be all blocked off. You're gonna have to actually chop through from down here on. Clear your own path into the forest. All the way down below. And we've got some work to do down there. I was pretty much scribbling on the canvas, but I'm glad you like it. I think it looks pretty darn good, and we're just starting. I'm going to try to find roadside objects like little carts and different things to put in too, to really dress it up this time. I think I got a floating tree, or is that, nope, it's just a big tree. So yeah, kind of separates you. Your fields are back there, but I think you'll have plenty of room to run your combine around the field. Even I left a lot of room. Yeah, we still got some pretty decent design work. I'm going to run some weeds or bushes in there, and we've got a lot of painting to do. And we may replace some of the tree types with new ones when they come out as well. If they did say there were new trees. I don't know what they got going on. But that is just a little bit of the detail that we're going to be putting into this. I think. Here, let's get up close. And you could chop it down, but hey, yeah, that looks pretty good. It's kind of giving you a real interesting entrance to the farm. And the roads are wide enough too, so you guys can get big equipment through. Shouldn't be any issue, as you could see. And we'll have more farm stuff appear once we figure out what silos and everything else. We may have to shrink this down and make it, but I like big, we'll put more, I mean, this is the main farm, so we'll have lots of barn type things to put in, but I'm going to wait until we see what silos and stuff. I want to bring the other PV maps over as well. What did I do here? Did I not plant the whole field, or are we having issues? I must have deleted it when I was doing grass. Haha, I deleted half my field. I do want to get the other ones over. I don't know if they... We'll get them here at least in part. Um, eventually, if we can. When I say in part, it all depends on the script sets and which ones get working. I mean, if we don't have the factory scripts or the UPK kit, we're going to have to strip them down, but we should be able to work alternatives in there in the beginning. So we'll see what happens. Still trying to get out of the South Farm. Me too. I've been out once, but I'm right back in it. Let me jump in here one more time and I can show you what I did. I kind of, when I had that big circle, and that's how things happen in this. When I had that big circle, it just takes one click and I took a chunk out of my field. And I didn't want to do that, so I gotta put my foliage layer of sugarcane, which is, where is it? Oh my gosh, it's so many in the list. And 7 and 8. 7, 8, bigger square. Get that back in there. All the little details, and I'm telling you, my mouse has been sticking a little bit, so I need to get a new one. There we go. All back to normal. Alright, let's see. You're still trying to get out of the South Farm, and that's all good. It's a lot to learn, yeah. You can't make lime. You gotta drop the stones, the big stones, into the... And you need to get them started. You gotta dump gas right behind the train down by the mines, and you'll get these little boulders that start to produce, and then you drive them across the street and dump them into the grinder and then turn it on and in the menu. Oh my gosh, complicated, but we do have videos out there, and check the PDF file if you're having issues getting that going. I think that's it for tonight, guys. I gotta get up early in the morning, so thanks for watching. I'll be back sometime. Oh, well, we're going to do an extended version here. I'm going to jump in to show you my, let's jump on 7 days. I haven't been there in a while. I told you I'd do it, show you where my mine is. It's actually, interestingly enough, right where the cell tower was. But I wanted to get this on video, this little part here. We're going to jump in real quick and just show you the base. Because the update's going to come, it'll probably wipe off my whole base, and I spent so much time working on what I've got so far that I definitely want to get this taped somewhere. So we'll do it now. If it works. Come on. You can do it. I'm just going to run through the base. And it's on the regular... I got so many different... It's the very first world I started. Come on up, world. I might even be Horde Day for all I know. It could be. But I'm not going to stay on long. I'll just show you real quick where I found all my ore. Oh, geez. Where are we? It's nighttime. All right, let me get to the... It's way at night. Let me get to the surface and show you where we are on the map. Now, yeah, surface is a long way up. I love building bases, as you will soon find out in the 7 Days to Die part of this. Alright, so I started where the cell tower was. This is the cell tower. I reinforced it all. This is where I do my hordes and stuff. There's a trench out there and everything. We'll show you that if it gets to daylight. But I kind of ran out of room after I and my gardening all around here. I kind of ran out of room above ground, so I inside that little building. This is the building that was standing at the cell tower. I cleared it out, and this is where I started playing the game. And then I said, "Oh, I can't go out, so I'm going down." Now, I carved out. That's actually natural roof. Carved out the first room. And then I wanted to go down a little further. And I did another little supply room, and then I just kept expanding. Now, when I got to... We have to go down a little further. Yep, okay. When I got to here, I hit a mine, believe it or not. And this is right near the cell tower. Right about there, just down the road. Now, from here I wanted to start heading toward these dirt spots. That's where I find the mines usually, the bigger mines. So I started digging, and then after I dug it all out, I filled it back in with new buildings. So I went to here, and then I went this way. Oh, I hear people outside, dogs. They're already attacking. I put in a library. In my kitchen. And then I go down here. And I got a bedroom and a bathroom. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. I hear bad things outside. But, oh yeah, they're in the right above me. This room here was where I hit another vein of... So we're right down here. There was a whole bunch, so I carved that out. Now, oh yeah, there's a little office here that isn't done yet. But I basically went back and filled everything in. Now this is the tricky part. I started going up toward the surface. This is going to be dangerous. Danger awaits. What happened was over here at the end of this hall, this isn't finished yet. But I had a collapse, so I had to build a whole pit. Oh, I fell in my own pit. I'm gonna die. Oh yeah. Let me put myself out. I can't even remember how to use these things. Okay, there we go. There's screamers out. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on out there. Let's check this out. Where's my light? There we go. Now there's the ladder over here somewhere. Where'd the ladder go? So I also do hordes from right here in the pit. They fall on the spikes like I just did, and I can shoot down, but they can't get me when I'm in the thing. This was a cave-in. This was another vein that actually caved in of ore. So I'll go down through here, back out the other way. I hit my own spikes all the time. Oh, they're up there. Now these are all tunnels that, and this, yeah, it's crazy long tunnels. It's much easier to find your way around in the daytime. But you can see where I am now. I'm way up here. I was going for this dirt area right here because you usually hit veins underneath those for mining. And there was a little bit right here. I started. There's still some in here. You can see a little bit. And eventually that ends up being a room. And then I come down this way. And I can keep going that way, it's dead end, but this way is the way around. Hey there, Badzilla. I'm just doing a quick look at my base on 7 Days to Die, the tunnel system. Now this is dangerous because there is one huge room coming up at the end of the tunnel, and I can't see. It's a long tunnel, but if I walk off the edge, I'm dead. I see light. Oh wait, we're not even there yet. There's another bit of a... So you can see I keep digging until I hit these areas, and I can mine in here quite a bit. And mine that whole area out. But I'm going to keep going. And the reason why I start digging these tunnels just 2 blocks wide is because the zombies have a very hard time following you through them. Alright, this is not where... Up another room. Alright. Another little bit of ore to mine. I see a light at the end of the tunnel. Alright, so this is the biggest vein I ever had. Let me go down here. It's very dangerous. So all this was mined out, and I built these crazy the stairways of death. But yeah, that was all lots, and that's what I used to build this place. There was veins coming all the way down here. You could see the torches. I literally carved this without the auger, all by hand, and put torches up as I was coming down. I put a few graves. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. But that is probably the most massive. I was trying to reach, after I got to a certain point, I call it the crooked stair. It goes way up. And I was trying to reach the bottom of the world, and I didn't quite do it, but it's a big cavern. And then I can go back up this side. So yeah, I'm a crazy person when it comes to doing these things, as if you... Whoa. Hadn't noticed. Yeah, you don't want to fall down in there. But with that, I'm going to run through the tunnel. This is all unfinished tunnel. I did plan on actually finishing. Thanks, Badzilla. I've worked a lot on this thing. And then to turn around this way, I'm actually running because this is long tunnels. And here is another room that was another vein that I carved out. And I just put a room in here. I'm still in the process of doing the metal on the ceiling on this one. But the interesting thing is, we actually circled the whole base. This is a perimeter, and we went out here, up, out, down, and I plan on putting some attack points on the corners eventually. My bed is over here in the bedroom. But there's another thing too. Once you get back to here, we can go up to the workshop, which is through this door. And we're back where we started. That's where we started, all the way around. But there is an escape point. Also, yeah, the rooms connect up here too. So if we wanted to go to the left, we can go down into the living room from here. Hey, thank you there for the follow, Lunch Meat 12. And I realize this isn't the making of PV17 anymore, but I wanted to show the base before they do the 15 update and I might lose everything. So a lot of it's in progress, but there is an escape point right down here, with the base being way up there. And it's really close to the water, so I can actually run out here, get water, and run back in. So now I'm right way down here by the water, and my base is way up there. And it's almost daylight. About another hour. Yeah, if you like building things, I like base building games. My Ark bases are just as bad as this one. Pretty much takes up all of Herbivore Island in Ark. So, this is running. I am running the complete Valmod pack. So, the floor textures and wall textures. These are all actually steel, but done with the spray can to have different design. You can see I couldn't do the steel afterwards underneath, and I could show you that if I can find a spray can up in my inventory. But I'm a hoarder too. I don't throw anything away. Am I thirsty yet? No, I'm a little hungry. I never throw anything away. And just to give you an idea of what I mean, that's my pistol collection. I've got pistols. Actually, I got my magnums in there too. I'll never need them. I don't have as many other guns, but there's my sniper rifles. My sniper rifle's the favorite. Each one of these cabinets has 2 guns, pump actions and sawed off. And a couple bolt rifles. And over here, my gunpowder and some explosive mines. I've got everything in here. I bring back everything. I'm a hoarder in games, but my room in this house is like very small. No room to hoard anything anymore. Guess that solves the problem. Get a small house with no room to put anything. Alright, so what I wanted to show you is the spray can. Do I have one in here? There we go. Let's equip a spray can. And go back to where I was. It's almost daylight. Then I can go outside. But this room right here, basically what you do is you take the little spray can, once it's metal. Don't I have a helmet light on? There we go. And when you click the block, you can put any of the textures down that you want. And that's the one I chose for that. All the walls and everything, they're all metal, but it's all just decorated with the spray paint cans. Oh yeah, SimCity was good. I like to build the cities now. Farm cities, yeah. What do I got cooking? Oh, lots of cement stuff going here. Get more cement. Go back to the surface. It's almost daylight. And we'll show you that before we get out of here. Once it's daylight. So, who would have thunk that there's a whole world underneath down there? There's also my backup tower, so if they get through the outer cage, I can come in the center room and fight them again. But you know what? The hordes just aren't tough enough. They get pretty bad, but they never get past my outside room. Because I can shoot at them wherever they come. They fall in the trench. They get through the trench occasionally, which goes all the way around. Except for this side does not have the trench. Because I didn't do it there. I don't know why. Oh, originally I didn't have the drawbridge mod. So, this is how I get out. There used to be a door over there. The door is still there, but... Come down here. There's my little bike. In the garage. Which I can turn around. Whoa. Not the easiest thing to turn around. Oh, I didn't shut the whole drawbridge. But... there's my trench. So, yeah, 3 rows of fire spikes with all those other... they don't get in here very often. Once it gets daylight, 10 more, I'll go out there a little bit. Right now they can run and they'll kill me. Alright, wait, take my chances. So, down there was my cave-in tunnel. That room that we were in, this is the top view. Zombies can easily walk up the sides when I'm in there and do the horde, and they'll fall right into the pit, onto the spikes. That's the view from the top. Some of the spikes are in work of progress. They're not all there yet. That was the last thing. Like I said, I was digging. I lost half my forest in the hole, but I can actually climb back down in there from here too, if I wanted to go down there. So that is my pit from my cave-in. Now the reason why the spikes are all the way out here is because this is where my forges are, and that's where they always come and try to attack. You can see the body bags. That's part of this mod too. Bottled water. So that is my 7 days to die base that might disappear when the new update comes, which is in very soon, as far as I know. And I haven't been playing. I've been on the Ark Scorched Earth a little bit, working on a base over there. And I had to leave a little space to repair the spikes, so you can literally go down here. You gotta close this and walk all the way around to see if there's any damage on the walls, or so there's just some spikes that need to be fixed up a little bit. What day is it? 120? I don't even know when the next horde's coming. I think it just passed. Or it could be, yeah. So yeah, I can go all the way around in the trench to fix the wall. Solid steel wall and 3 layers of spikes slows just about everybody down. They will get through it on the bad horde days. I'm going to crank up the difficulty to feral, and it's already on hard mode, and see if they can get in. But with the update, the miner zombies, yeah, they might just come right in and destroy the place even if I do get to keep it. So that is my 7 Days to Die base special. See what I'm not always. I've been having fun since I finished Rivers, playing 7 Days to Die and other things. But map making is coming around. I've been slowly weaning myself off of these, so I can get more map stuff done very soon. I won't be able to play these at all. Alright, folks. I think that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight and the extra half hour of 7 Days to Die. Which I'm not going to go kill zombies, because I better eat, though. Oh, I think I'll have some vegetable stew. Thank you so much, Badzilla, for the for the donation. Very much appreciated. Thank you very, very, very much. And that is going to be it for the show tonight. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday with another work. We'll work on the map some more, see what direction it goes, and get you caught up on whatever else is new in the world out there in the farming world. Thanks, everybody. Good night, KW. Thanks again for moderating. I can't say it enough. You are great. And I can show you the ARC bases next time. We'll do that Tuesday night after the show. How's that sound? I'll show you my Scorched Earth that I'm working on and my other one, because I can jump in. Alright, guys. Thank you very much. We'll catch y'all later.